Hey everyone, I just want to clear up some lies that have come out since the Ronnie Lott term sheet was released on Friday. First of all, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf was instructed by the NFL, given the green light by the league, to work with the Ronnie Lott group. The fact of the matter is that Libby had said, and had said this to me personally, that she didn't want to do anything to upset the National Football League, and that's why there were a number of potential developers that came forward that Libby did not approve, because she wanted the NFL's acceptance and thumbs up before she moved forward. She has been very paranoid of doing anything that upsets either the NFL or the Raiders. That's a fact. In spite of what the Raiders will say to you, that's a fact. And if someone chimes in at this point and says what the Raiders said X, ask the Raiders why they didn't go public with the information that I revealed, that the Raiders Vice President of Business Affairs, the Stadium Point person, Larry McNeil, was working hand in glove with Oakland Assistant City Administrator Claudia Capio. Ask them that. The Raiders have a history of what I call cover-up dealing. And I do this from personal experience. I know this from personal experience. In 1997, Al Casal, then the executive assistant of the Oakland Raiders, considered Al Davis' right hand, called me as the economic advisor to the mayor of Oakland and said, "We want your help in reestablishing the Raiders 49ers preseason game. Only," and I quote, "we don't want it to look like it came from us." And that is where you come in, Zenny. Al Casal taught me all the NFL politics I knew up to the point where he departed his activities from the team. And the way the Raiders operate is what we call in politics a head fake. They'll publicly say, for example, "Oh, the Super Bowl deal won't work," but then behind the scenes, they're supportive of it. Or at the NFL owners meeting, then Raiders CEO Amy Trask casts a vote in favor of the effort, my effort. Those are personal examples I have of the Raiders putting out one type of public face, but then acting another way behind the scenes. This is the latest example. Why are the Raiders that way? Well, my first thought is to tell you is that it obviously has something to do with how others interpret Al Davis' way of working. But that's the best I can do. I really don't know the answers to why they choose to operate that way. I just know they do, and I'm used to it. Now, with respect to this project, the simple fact of the matter is that the NFL has said it's not a developer. The memorandum of understanding between the Ronnie Lott, the City of Oakland, and the County of Alameda is such that it left Lott open to talk to a number of parties. If the NFL wanted to get involved as a developer, it had ample room and time to do so. If the NFL wanted to bring in someone other than or with Fortress, they could do so, and still can do so, because of the way the term sheet is written. The term sheet is written. It's very important to read all 30 pages of that sheet on your own and not trust anyone's word, including mine. Read it. If you have any questions about what something says, ask me. There are a number of people involved in this as reporters who have no background in development, no understanding, and they're afraid to ask questions. They only have an agenda to make Oakland look bad. Why that is, you'll have to ask them. I can't answer for them, and I'm not going to try to. But I know that the truth behind this deal is far different than what some of you have been told. But I encourage you to close this video. I encourage you, please read the 30-page staff report and term sheet. Every single word. And if you have a question about something in it, please ask me. For those of you who don't know, you say, "What's my background?" My first job out of grad school at the University of California, Berkeley, the Master of City Planning program, was as intern to the Oakland Redevelopment Agency. My first project within that was finding a location for large and small pipes that were owned and used by the East Bay Municipal Utility District to clear land that was going to be for a new big box retail facility. My second job was writing a memo to create a kind of development concept, and along with it, the fiscal and economic impact of that development concept. What do I mean by development concept? So many square feet of retail, so many square feet of office, so many hotel rooms, and so on, and what the tax increment financing revenue throw off would be, the sales tax revenue throw off would be, the property tax revenue throw off would be, because you need that to calculate the TIF, the tax increment financing revenue, and so on. The memo that I wrote created the argument for what is there now, there being at this crescent between I-80, 580 here, and the Bay Bridge, which consists of Home Depot, Best Buy in Emeryville, and a major hotel. Yes, I did that. I later went on, I was rehired as a consultant because I built a computer model that would allow anyone to understand and see and project fiscal and economic impacts for any redevelopment project in the state of California. I called it the Area Redevelopment Economic Model, Lotus-based. Lotus 123 is a spreadsheet. And I started my own consulting firm. Anyway, the bottom line is I can go on and on and on about my background. I then was hired, put on the Alameda Base Reuse Committee by Alameda County Supervisor Keith Carson. Became a columnist for the Mont-Clarion on economic development issues. I was then hired by the mayor of Oakland, Elihu Harris, to be his economic advisor. And then under Jerry Brown, I became the head of the effort to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland. We lost to Jacksonville for the right to host the 2005 Super Bowl. I then went on to build my company, Sports Business Simulations, around a game I made that allowed you to run the Oakland Athletics, and that game was used in 50 colleges and high schools around the country. And then I developed my own blog network and video blog network, Zenny62 and Zenny62 Media, and that led me to you today. And that's a very, very foreshortened presentation of my history. My point is this. My background is uniquely suited to the discussion of this issue. So if you have a question, you ask me. And I'll be honest with you if I don't know the answer to something. But I'll be equally direct and honest with you when I know the answer to something. And I'll encourage you to read. Read first. Ask me a question based on the term sheet and the staff report, because I've written tons of staff reports for the city of Oakland. Ask me. I'm here to answer those questions for you. But I'm far different than any other person, any other reporter that's covering this, because they don't have a development and planning background. And they don't have one suited to this. My Oakland Baseball Sim World game was, again, a game running the business of the Oakland A's, including stadium financing. All a computer model that I built single-handedly on my own, learning a very esoteric computer programming language to do so. And go on and on and on. No one has my background. So you have a question, you ask me.